Give thanks to Allah for the moon and the stars. Praise Him all day for what is and what was. Take hold of your iman. Don't give in to shaitan. Oh, you.
Yes, there's a scholar, a teacher. He was traveling with some of his students. And one day he saw some family members, a group of family members, husband and wife. They were shouting on each other. Serious argument, arguing with each other, shouting on each other. Some people were passing by and looking at them. People just ignored them. But this scholar stayed at a distance from them where they could hear the argument, shouting on each other in public. And so the scholar now said to the students and said, why do people shout with each other? Why do they shout on each other when they are angry? Why do they shout when they are angry? One of the students said, well, they have to shout on each other because when somebody is arguing with us, we lose our calm and then we just shout so that the other person can listen to us. Another person says, well, if you don't shout, the person you are talking to will not even listen to you because the person is also shouting. So when somebody shouts, you shout back. Then the scholar said, why do you have to shout back when you are very near the person now? You can easily just say it and the person will hear. The person is not far from you. Why don't you just talk? Just say it instead of shouting. Then the students gave some other answers, but none of them pleased the scholar. He was not satisfied. He said, okay, let me tell you. When two people are arguing with each other, when they are angry with one another, what happens is that their hearts become too distant from each other, even though their bodies are close to each other. Their minds, their hearts distance a lot. To cover that distance, they have to shout so that the other person can hear them. The angrier they are, the stronger they will have to shout so that they can hear each other to cover that great distance of their hearts. Their minds are far apart. And the more they are angry, the more they think they are far. So they keep shouting, keep raising the voice, so that you can hear me, I can hear you from that distance that our hearts are, even though our bodies are very close. But what happens to two people who are in love with each other? They don't need to shout towards each other before they can hear. In fact, they can talk softly because their hearts are very close to one another. In fact, when the love becomes more, the distance doesn't even exist at all. You know what happens? Sometimes they even just whisper and they will hear what each other is saying because their hearts are very close, very, very close to each other. They whisper. In fact, after a while, they don't even need to say anything. They just look at each other and they get the message. Because this time around, their hearts have even become one. They think the same way. If the husband is at work, the wife is at home, they are thinking of each other simultaneously. Even when they speak on the phone, they speak in very low voice. Because despite that distance, their hearts are joined together.
Give thanks to Allah for the moon and